It's about that time of day again here, boys and girls. Newsletter time. JJ here. SchoolOfTrade.com. SidewaysMarkets.com. Welcome to your nightly newsletter. It is December 11th, 2014, a Thursday evening here. And what a day. What a day. Gold still stingy at those highs right now. We've been waiting to see gold drop off those highs. Gave you guys a couple easy selling opportunities there on a fade on gold last night. How about that Russell, right? I mean, come on. I was just hoping the Russell would go from the lows to the highs, but it came all the way back down. Up it goes and all the way back down. Guys, the money is just too easy on this Russell. That's 3 for 3. 3 days in a row. Up and down, up and down, up and down on the Russell. And of course, well, unless you haven't driven an automobile, unless you've been living under a rock, and unless you're living in some cabin in the woods somewhere and you have no access to civilization, you have no idea that crude oil right now, I just saw $58 a barrel on crude as I'm preparing the final charts for this evening. I know we know what direction we're going in, but I'm going to give you guys some targets. And I'm going to show you why I think the party might be over on crude here, at least for the time being. Okay, so hold on tight for that. Now, boy, as you can tell, what an exciting week we've had, right? This week has just blown through. Before I jump into the charts for today, though, I do want to remind you guys, make sure you're watching this video on our trading blog here at SidewaysMarkets.com. If you're not watching the video on our trading blog right now, for example, if you're watching it on our YouTube page, there is a description, right? The link is in the description of that YouTube video, and that will take you over to our trading blog. So if you're watching the YouTube right now, click the link in the description, and that will take you over here to our trading blog. 3 specific reasons why you got to be watching this right now on our blog at Sideways Markets. The first one here, you can download all the charts that I'm going to show you here tonight. Right, so you can have those ready for you tomorrow morning, this evening, right, whenever you're going to be using them. Second thing, upper left-hand corner, I would love to send you a free pass to attend our live trade room. If you're not a member already of SchoolOfTrade.com, if you're not a member with me in the room, and you'd like to get a free pass to come out and test drive our trade room, I would love to send you a copy or a free pass to attend here. And the last thing, lower left-hand corner, we have a nightly newsletter mailing list, right? Don't let the ugly mug scare you. Give me your name and your email address. I'm going to send you an email every evening right when that newsletter is ready. That way you never have to worry about missing another nightly newsletter. Now, guys, just a heads up here, if you grab the free pass or if you register for our newsletter, I'm going to send you a verification email to make sure I have the correct email address and to make sure you're not a robot, right? So make sure you check your junk mail, your spam folder, right? Check your inbox. I'm going to send you a verification email just to make sure that we've got everything ironed out so we can get that party started. All right, guys? Looking good. Seatbelts on. Helmets fastened. That's right, baby. What a great day we had today, and what a fantastic week. Let's kick off tonight's newsletter Thursday evening with the mighty mini Russell. Boy, I'll tell you, this has been a crazy week. Now, I assume the oil prices have a lot to do with the fact that these equities are all over the place right now, but hey, I don't care what the heck the reason is. This has been a party this week on the Russell. Right? Monday, sell the highs. Or sorry, Monday, buy the lows. Tuesday, sell the highs. Wednesday, buy the lows all the way up and down and up and down. And of course, this is nothing new. If you've been watching this newsletter here this week, the past few weeks, we've been talking about this range. And all I've said every single night for the past 2 weeks is the same exact thing. If you watch this newsletter the last 2 weeks, you'd probably think it was the same video, right? Because it's been literally the same thing. We're in a short-term sideways range. Buy those lows, sell those highs, and stay the heck away from the middle, right? So that's what we're going to continue here to do. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, and eventually something is going to happen here, right? Something's going to happen. The way that I see this is it's just like one of those jack-in-the-boxes, right? Bam, right? Once it gets down to that narrowest point, it's going to start getting some pressure here to start really breaking out of this range. But we are not there yet. Let's go in a little bit closer here. I want to zoom in a little bit closer on this area so I can show you now what we're really looking like here right now, right? Now, guys, do not take my word for it. All right. Do not take my word for it when I tell you that I told you guys to buy these lows and take your profit of the high. I then told you the very next day to sell the highs and take your profit of the lows. Last night, I told you to buy these lows and take your profit at the highs. Apparently, I'm slacking off. Apparently, I need to up my game a little bit because I forgot. I should have told you to sell the highs again. This is incredible, right? Now, normally, we're going to get 1, 2, 3, and then we'll start to deteriorate. But this has been incredible. 3 for 3 this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then here I am Thursday evening. Can we possibly go back up again? Oh, yeah, we can. Oh, yeah, we can. Don't you start thinking like a gambler. You know the gambler's fallacy, right? The gambler's fallacy, right? Well, the price has been going down all day. It can't keep going down forever. Oh, yes, it can. Well, I mean, we've seen the buys, work all day. The sells are no, yes, it will. Right? There is nothing saying that we can't keep doing this. Ride that horse that got you here. We're going to keep buying these lows, selling these highs, and as we go back up, right, we're looking at 70, 69.8. We'll call that 70. And then again, the big target up top there at 1176.8. Now, one thing here, guys, if you're coming in here late to the party, do not try to be a hero tomorrow. Tomorrow, what you cannot do is you cannot look at this and say, well, it's worked every other time this week, and look at all this money I would have made. I'm going to bet the farm on the long side. No, you can't do that. Keep trading your plan. Do not let the fact that your extreme success this week, do not let that cloud your judgment. All right? You're only as good as your ability to do this correctly. Right? So keep buying these lows. I've got targets waiting for us up at the highs, but again, proper risk sizes, proper position sizes. Do not widen that stop. Do not let your past successes this week cloud your judgment. Follow that plan. And if you don't have a plan right now, come out and see me tomorrow in the room. Let's get you a plan. You don't need to do all this on your own. It's one of the beautiful parts about being a member of our community here at School of Trade. We have one of the best communities in the world, if not the best. How's that for a statement? Right? So come out and join us. You don't need to do it alone. So sideways range, buy these lows, profit targets at the highs, and again, don't do anything stupid tomorrow, all right? Don't go crazy tomorrow, all right? Be careful. Now, once again, I do want to remind you, we were looking at rollover today, right? Remember what I said last night? We came in this morning, we looked at the volume between the 12.14 and the 3.15, and we had double the volume on the 12.14 contract. So we're not going to be rolling over today. We will check it again tomorrow, but it most likely will be rolling over on the Russell tomorrow. But again, if you need help with that, there's a link on our blog for contract rollover if you guys need anything right below the video that'll teach you guys about contract rollover. So Russell price action, right? Here's our price action chart on the Russell. Sellers just finished all the way back at the lows, right? So we can see here, the buyers got the party going all the way up, consolidation at the highs, and then all the way back down. Now we're looking at a second leg down here, and that second leg down, and of course this big candlestick wick sure as heck ain't hurting at all, right? That big candlestick wick right there. The candlestick wick is a cherry on top, to be honest with you. The symmetrical movement on this chart is what tells me that we will probably have a potential sideways range going into the overnight session, and then I would look for a buy up to these targets that we have overhead, right? Now, what's amazing is that this chart uses absolutely no indicators, right? I mean, there's one indicator on it. It's just all candlesticks and drawing tools, right? That's all it is. It's just pure price action. I'll tell you though, really a confidence booster when you see just the price action, right? If I didn't know anything else about this market, I would still be saying this is where we should see some significant support. We should look for a consolidated range here, and then I would bet on price going up, pull back, right? Breakout, pull back, somewhere above this area, and then again, you got targets waiting for you overhead. Again, it lines up right with this chart, which kind of gives you that gives you that level of confidence, right, that you're on the right track. So we've got some indicators and we've got some price action, both confirming here on the Russell. The one thing, though, that you need to be aware of is especially for my members out there, if you're a member of mine, you need to be aware there's going to be a range developing here. So look at your breakout strategy and trade your breakouts according to that range, all right? I shouldn't need to say anything else besides that. You guys know exactly what we're talking about. And if you don't, just go into the advanced course and learn the breakout strategy. Now, gold still gave us some really great trading opportunities today, but it still is really kind of stingy at these highs. Now, what else do they want on this gold? You know, gold's a shelter market, right? So the fear from China, the fear from Greece, that's what drove it up. But this is this kind of the stuff that kind of frustrates me about gold. Everyone is so worried about everything these days. I just want to shake this thing and say, what's the big deal? We saw record-breaking retail sales today. We saw a great JOLTS report earlier this week. I mean, come on, what's so wrong about this world of ours, right? We got oil going to basically 99 cents. I'm going to the dollar store to pick up oil this afternoon, right? Consumers are doing well. Everyone's doing well. The jobs report last week was better than expected. What's the deal? Why are we still at these highs, right? Now, obviously, I try not to trade what I think. But I'm telling you right now, there's smoke, right? There's smoke. This appears to be, we need these buyers to get over themselves, and this thing needs to come tumbling back to that big round number of 1,200. I'm still bearish as heck right now on this gold. There's no reason to be bullish, right? There's no reason to be bullish right now on gold, right? Unless, of course, we hear another crisis, right, out of China or Europe, right? That may interrupt us. We have no major news overnight tonight. So I'm still looking at the downside right now on gold. Same thing we've been talking about all week. We're up near these range highs. We get that big round number of 1,200 right below us. It's just somebody needs to come along and just give these guys a little nudge and get that thing back to 1,200 right now on the gold. Here's another chart on the gold. This one cut that 32 in half, and now we go to the 16. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get the drop tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong, but the way it looks right now, it looks like we have a sideways range going here. It doesn't look like this channel is too tight right now. You can see they kind of broke free of that channel here. You know, this stuff right here, this stuff right there, that is what tells me this market is in complete balance right now. Look at the clouds, right? You got all the key moving averages are basically flat right now. We're right in the middle of the range from 1240 down to 1216. You know, if I had to guess, it's going to be a sideways range tomorrow. But you know me, right? You know me. My gut instincts don't qualify as a trading strategy. So I'm still looking to sell short. I want to sell the highs, 1234.2, 1236.4, you know, up around that 1240 area. I will definitely still be looking to sell. So if you're a member of mine right now, you know what we do when we find a sideways range. We transition now from a trending environment to a breakout range environment, which means we're looking for traps, fades, and pullbacks, right? So make sure you guys know where those highs are and where those lows are, and make sure we buy those lows, sell those highs, and if you had to choose, I would choose to sell the highs right before I bought the lows. And you got some easy levels here overhead. Don't forget, I'm going to give you guys updated levels tomorrow on this gold in our live trade room. So don't forget, don't do this on your own, right? You can come out and join us tomorrow as well. Last but not least here, on the gold, we've got our price action chart. On the price action chart for gold, you can see here almost the same exact thing, right? We have a sideways trading range in pretty much every sense of the word here, right? You got consolidation at the highs, sellers take it, sellers have their way with it the first half of the day, consolidation at the lows, buyers have their way with it the second half of the day, and then we just kind of go, right, and going to go sideways here. We are sideways right in the middle of the range right now. It's very, very clear what's going on here on gold. When you see these literally big wicks and a retest of that high, big wicks, overlapping candles, That's your range right there on gold, right? And again, same thing we talked about before. I've got 33.4, 16.4. My gut tells me we stay inside this area. But remember, execute that breakout strategy, members, right, if you're trading gold outside this range. And remember, sell those highs, right? That's going to be where I'm going to be looking for, is to be a seller at those highs. And then how about that crude, right? Wrapping up here on crude this evening. Wrapping up here on crude, right? $60 a barrel was our target this week. We completely just blew right through it here. For a little bit today, we were wondering if we'd even get there, right? We get a lot bigger bounce off that 60, what was it, 60.15, something like that, right? We get a lot bigger bounce off that level than I thought we were going to get. I thought it was going to go right to it when we opened up at 9 o'clock and just beeline down to 60.15. But as you saw, though, today, got a good bounce off the 60.15, and it was late in the morning, early afternoon, we finally rolled over and played dead here on crude. Now, the plunge continues, but if you look at this extension, just having some fun here in the chat room this afternoon with our members, and I said, all right, let's play a little game called AB equals CD, right? So we go lower, we retrace, we go lower, AB equals CD. That puts me at around 56, right? I'm going to say 55.50 right now. And unless something changes, right? Unless something changes, I'm still very surprised that we haven't received an email about the, the OPEC RV tour. You know what I mean? I'm surprised they're not touring through the world right now talking fear. I'm surprised the fear mongering hasn't started yet. So, hey, maybe we get lucky here. Maybe we keep going lower. On the next chart, I'm going to show you a very important extension level here because we definitely have some concerns that we're right about at some killer support here. I've got my channel going down, right? We're down to the lows of that channel. I do have a long-term extension at 55.50, right? But I don't think we're going to get there in one shot. Right now, I'm going to recommend that we stay to the short side here on crude, right? Shocker there. I've been saying that since March this year, right? And we're looking at sells here, 61.68, 61.53, 63.06, 64.20, right? So clearly we're going to wait here patiently for the best sells. But, right now my gut tells me we're gonna have to take a break here eventually. There's been too much wealth that's been made on the way down. People are going to be taking profit. We have to assume that. So be careful selling these highs. And if you want a really good chart, right? If you want a really good chart to look at, here's a great chart that really outlines for us what we're going to be looking at for tomorrow and possibly into Monday as far as areas overhead for resistance and for selling opportunities here on crude. First of all, we can see here just the absolute collapse once again. I've got this kind of short-term channel, and remember, we're going to leave those trend lines on there until they are basically violated and just disrespected, right? So until we go up and test that trend line, that trend line is still a very viable option here. As you can see, I've marked up prior lows, 59.56, 59.85, 60.08. I've got 60.19, 60.95, and then I don't think we get all the way up. But again, this is crude we're talking about, right? Big drops, big pops. Who the heck knows? We're going to be looking for more selling opportunities here at those levels listed above. Now, you'll notice if you take your Fibonacci extension tool, you get a nice little golden ratio extension down here, right about 59, right? Just below 59. Now, for everyone who's not familiar, the golden ratio is the king of all fractals. When we surpass the golden ratio extension, the market goes into irrational mode in my world, right? Where I come from, when we go past the golden ratio extension, we go into irrational price action. So right now, believe it or not, I would much rather have this market go higher than to go lower. Now, they're not going to call me, obviously, tonight and ask me what my opinion is. But again, if we go lower here, be very careful selling. All right, if we go lower here, be very careful selling. Because if we keep going lower without a good retrace, right, if we don't get at least back to that 60 area, you know, I mean, that's what I would think is going to happen. I would think we're going to go back to 60 and then start chipping away at that 50, right, 58, 57. I projected 56. But again, if we roll over here overnight and just tumble, you got to really be careful tomorrow, because now we go into irrational territory. And if you want me to go over that in more detail, I'd be more than happy to tomorrow morning. Just come into the trade room, ask me for help, and I'd be happy to talk more about it. What I would love is I would love to see a rational market, a healthy market, retrace off these lows. The sellers, they need to take profit. When the sellers take profit and the bargain hunters come out, right, and they nibble on these lows here, that's going to get us into a position where those sellers that took their profit, they didn't all of a sudden turn to bulls, okay? Trust you me, okay? I'm not all of a sudden a bull now on crude. So I'm going to take my profit here at 59, but I'm going to look to get back in later on. And that's why I say, if we roll over here, those sellers are going to be confused by this. We need them to get out of their trades, get some buyers involved, get this up off those lows so we can smack it right back down, just like we've been doing pretty much the entire year of 2014, ever since March, right? We've been doing the same thing ever since March. So absolutely incredible here this week on crude. And again, stay patient. Do not do anything stupid here right now based on your prior success this week. Follow the plan. Keep trading the plan that got you here. And then here is a fantastic chart. Now, let me show you this. So we know we have a golden ratio extension, right? This is why I love it. This is why I love my job. This is why I absolutely love my job, right? So we have Mr. Fibonacci telling us that 59 is a support level. Well, surely the price action itself does not tell us the same thing. Oh, you better believe it does. Absolutely it does. Now, what a great chart. What a great chart. And we had a great day in the room today on crude. It was somewhat easy, just, you know, knowing that we sold it here, we sold it here, we sold it here, sold it here. Right? I mean, it literally every time it went up, we were looking to swat it back down, right? Scalping each time along the way. So, of course, sellers had their way to begin. Again, I was expecting this to go up and then finish the move there, right? That's what we were expecting today, to get down, right, to that 60 area. But it bounced very, very hard, right? Went all the way back into the highs. This was just too easy, right? I mean, you're right back to the highs again. You're not going to sell that thing? Absolutely you are, right? So sold it again as we go into the end of the morning, right? We come down. And then again, the symmetrical movement here right now on this chart tells me this party is most likely over right here, right? This party is most likely done to the downside. If we roll over here, that is going to be very surprising. I would be more inclined, as you can read right here, I'd be more inclined to expect consolidation with an attempt to move higher. So don't be surprised if you see, by the time you come in tomorrow morning, don't be surprised if you see it going sideways here. And then you know what I'm going to do, right? Breakout, fade. Breakdown, retrace, right? If we go all the way up, you better believe we're selling that too, right? So we definitely want to sell the ranges above you. But again, if you're a member of mine, you know how to trade these ranges. I would expect to see a consolidation range here overnight. And if it rolls over tonight, again, be careful tomorrow, because one of those short selling opportunities is going to be a failure, and it's going to take your head off and go right back to 60. All right? Be careful tomorrow. All right? Just simply follow the same plan that we've had the entire year so far, right? On the way down, sell those, right? Sell those retracements, right? Sell those levels above. Let's get ready for some news tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of the second week of the month. Boy, guys, we've only got one more full week left until we go into holiday time, so we got to make our money. And boy, these markets are going to put a lot of presents under the tree this year. That's for sure. I got to get the Festivus poll up. I've been putting that off all week. You've been so busy with crude. Anyways, starting tonight here, 12:30 a.m. out of China. 1:30 a.m. Sorry about that. It's a Thursday. We got 4 p.m. out of Italia. We've got the EU industrial production at 5 a.m. Now, we talked about gold earlier on this morning, right? Remember, Gold is the tail, and the dollar is the dog, right? So that's what's happening right now. When we have bad news affecting Europe, that's affecting the euro. The euro is 60% of the dollar index, right? The dollar being the world's reserve currency it's not just tied to the euro. It's a basket of currencies that makes up the dollar index. And so if the euro gets smacked, the dollar goes up. If the euro gets strong and goes higher, the dollar comes down. And that is what is ending up wagging the tail that is gold right now. All right? I know that was way too confusing, and it is confusing, right? The overall scenario right now in this world regarding currencies is relatively confusing. Okay, and trust me, the smartest minds in the world work at these central banks, and they have no idea what they're doing. Look at Mr. Mario Draghi. So we know we've got a ton of news here. I mean, literally three different Red Star news events. This is what I would expect is going to impact gold tomorrow. So be ready for gold early in the session. We've got news out of China, always going to be an important news event. And then we got industrial production. Remember, industrial production, manufacturing, right? This is huge for Europe right now. So we'll be looking at that very closely here going into tomorrow. And then, of course, in the U.S. session, we've got the PPI, right? We get the producer prices. Remember, inflation. Inflation is a huge metric right now. Everyone's watching. The biggest threat to our growth right now is stagnation, right? Or falling prices and falling jobs. So we're not dealing with too much of it right now. Not too worried about our PPI tomorrow, right? But it will be something that I would assume every analyst in the world will be watching tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's a Friday, so get in early and get out early tomorrow morning. One thing is for sure on a Friday, you better have a good reason to be trading after 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Right? You got to have a good reason. Ain't nothing worse than giving back some of the money you made this week because you couldn't resist the temptation to keep pushing the buttons. Tomorrow is a day where that self-fulfilling prophecy on crude, gold, well, maybe not gold, but Russell and crude, my gut tells me to expect some consolidation tomorrow. But again, I'm not going to trade my gut. I'm going to come in tomorrow morning like we always do, and I'm going to trade exactly what the chart tells me. I'm going to risk less than 2% of my account. I'm going to make sure I take the best patterns. I'm going to follow my plan. Nothing changes tomorrow. I don't care how many bags of money you made this week, okay? So follow the plan tomorrow. Be safe. Don't do anything crazy. All right, I gotta go check my swimming pool. I'm filling my swimming pool up with crude oil right now in the backyard to go check that thing to make sure it's not overflowing. I'm having some fun with you guys. Guys, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. This is the best time of the year in my opinion. Right? You got family coming, you got the holiday season, right? Hopefully you got some kids enjoying themselves this time of the year, right? So have fun. Have fun this weekend. Have a great day tomorrow. Thank you so much for being a part of our newsletter. Thank you for putting up with my crazy self this week. And we'll see you guys here on Monday, December 15th. Back same time, same place, right? You guys have a great weekend, guys. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.